My tricep then becomes the agonist by drawing the insertion closer to the origin, and my bicep becomes the antagonist, lengthening, allowing to release. So when we think in terms of the muscles that are involved in hoop dance, we are talking about the muscles of the anterior and posterior torso column. We're also talking about the muscles in the anterior and posterior hip, your butt. We're also talking about the lateral hip, the medial thigh. And if you notice the way that I'm giving you these groupings, I'm giving them to you in agonist and antagonist couplings. So if you think about it, the muscles of the low back, if they're working to contract, stick your butt way out, and you feel that lumbar curve increase, your low back is shrinking. So those muscles are working, then the muscles in the front body are antagonist, lengthening to allow that back body to shorten. Vice versa, if we're contracting the muscles of the abdominal wall, the spine comes into flexion, then we're opening the back body, that lumbar. The same thing with the front of the hip. We talked about that while we're seated, and the hip is flexed forever and ever. If we get up and we take the hip into extension, or if we engage the posterior muscle groups, your butt, then we start to open the hip. We'll talk a little bit more about these couplings and how they manifest in injury and prevention of injury a little bit later on. But just have that in your mind that with every contraction of a muscle, there's an opposing muscle group that's lengthening and allowing.